Alright, here we are with the basic elements and principles of visual design. Although visual design on the web can be incredibly complex, all web designs boil down to 6 basic elements: lines, shapes, color palette, texture, typography, and form. Lines help define shapes, they divide sections, they create separation, and they typically have length, width, and direction. Here on this screen, we can see a basic example of a line. I know it sounds silly and pretty elementary, but still it's important that we overview these simple concepts. Shapes are self-contained areas composed of lines, values, color, and texture. All objects are composed of shapes. Here on the same website, we have another example of a shape, and it is composed of the white lines, and it's filled with a simple color. Color palette differentiates shapes and items. They add depth and emphasis, organize information, and evoke emotion and feeling. So here on the Shakers website example, we have 3 main colors used in the scheme. We have the orange in the header and navigation. We have that purple-blue color in the This Week's Hours. And then we have that green color in the bottom for the grid-based latest news, event calendar, and trending sections. Texture gives illusion of how a surface feels. It doesn't necessarily have to be a real texture like dirt or paper, and is used to either attract or divert attention from content. So in this Shakers example again, we have a muted texture to create focus on the main content. So on this page here, you can see that the colors on each of the sections, from the hero carousel to the This Week's Hours and the latest news sections, on the left and the right side of those sections, the colors are muted to focus the content in the center. Typography, this includes fonts, size, color, spacing, and alignment. Again, with the Shakers example, you could see a simple heading, a subheading, and body. And these conventions are carried out through the rest of the website. Form gives the illusion of 3-dimensional objects. They add depth and texture to create a 3D object and are used to accentuate a message or to provide visual appeal. Again, with our Shakers example, we have some 3-dimensional text and a 3D graphic just to make this otherwise flat design, which is intentional, to have a little bit of depth. There are 7 principles of visual design, and while there are no official industry standard rules for visual design, because the beauty of a design purely depends on the eye of the beholder, there are a set of widely accepted guidelines or principles when it comes to visual communication, and the basic principles boil down to the following 7. Balance, rhythm, proportion, space, dominance, hierarchy, and unity. Balance is the arrangement and distribution of objects to create meaning. It can be symmetric or asymmetric. In this case, saltsurf.com, you could see balance between the surfboards on the left side of the screen and the description of the surfboards on the right. Rhythm is the repetition of elements and creates movement and can establish a pattern and texture. Here with saltsurf.com, we have rhythm in the products on their online store. Proportion is also known as scale and demonstrates how each item relates in size. Here with the Apple website, we have proportion with the 4 different varying iPhone models, from the iPhone 6 Plus, which is gigantic, versus the iPhone 5S, which looks puny in comparison. Space is also known as white space and is used to reduce noise, clutter, and increase readability within a design or a website. So here with the Apple homepage, you can see a lot of white space being used to accentuate the new MacBook. Dominance is the focal point achieved through size, color, shape, and so on and so forth, and is used to communicate the primary message. Here again with the homepage of the Apple website, the new gold MacBook obviously has dominance over this page. Hierarchy differentiates primary and secondary focus and is achieved through size, color, and placement. With Google.ca's webpage here, the primary focus is very clearly the input field where you can start searching. Secondary focus are the buttons, and the tertiary focus is the option to toggle the language to French. Unity is the big picture of a design, how all elements are related or unrelated, and the grouping of similar elements. So basically everything put together. Here with saltsurf.com, we have space in the header and throughout the rest of the page, dominance with the hero carousel, in this case the Salt Mod Fish surfboard, and secondary info, which are grouped together because they are related, which is the description of the board, the process, and how to order this surfboard. All right, makes sense? Let's move on to the next lecture.